Oh, let's play video, that's right. It's been so long since I've created a video that I don't even know where to get started. So we're only gonna make this 25 minutes. We're gonna do 25 minutes each video from now on, unless I decide that I want to keep going. But other than that, this first episode isn't gonna be that long. Anyways, we're playing Portal Knights. That's not the button I wanted to press. I want to press offline so we don't get any unwanted visitors. I'm gonna go ahead and, I have a few characters created here, but I'm gonna go ahead and create a new character here. We're gonna go male, and we're going to go mage, because honestly, mage is probably the most overpowered. And, the best character in my opinion for what I'm gonna try to do here. So I'm gonna try to customize this character as fast as possible. No beard. I look weird with that anyways. We're gonna change hair to... Well, I'm gonna be a mage, so I don't want to look stupid. I guess we'll just go with the classic look, and then we'll change the eyes and whatnot. Okay, we'll go with that. Ears. I think we look fine like that. Skin color. Okay, eye shape. That's what I want to mess with. There you go. Next. Alright. 2 minutes in and already suck at this shit. We're gonna turn this down. Hopefully you can't see that. But if you do, sorry. Anyways, we're gonna name this guy... We're gonna name this guy Delta, because I already have a daltora, and I don't want to get confused. Anyways, he is a level 1 mage, and we're going to go ahead and create a new universe. That universe is not what it seems, believe me. I originally already made a Portal Knights Let's Play, but... Oh, that's not right. I originally already tried to make a co-op type Let's Play, and that didn't work out. We're gonna go with the large ones, because why not? We're gonna create this universe, and it really didn't work out in my favor. And I'm gonna wait until I can confirm a few things. But, you know, Portal Knights, here's the beginning. In the forgotten days, the world was peaceful and whole. But the fracture arrived and tore the realm apart. Now the only connection between separated lands are the ancestral portals, and they are guarded by fetish fiends who thrive in the darkness. There you go. The world awaits heroes who will restore light to the portals and reunite the peaceful realm. Disparate. Maybe that was... no. Nah. Disparate? I don't even know. And honestly, I really wanted to make like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Roleplay type YouTube Let's Play for this, but then as the time went on, I was just like, I know too much of this to even try to make this, a role play, because I'm not very good at keeping character when I know certain things. for people that haven't played Portal Knights, you start off as a measly character with, as a knight you start off with the sword, as a archer you start with the bow, all wooden things by the way, and then I have a wooden fire wand as a mage. Normally there's a set of things that they want you to do. For example, one of the things is they're going to want you to collect stone. Actually, I want you to collect a lot more than stone. I want to get to the highest point. One of the things in Portal Knights is as soon as you... Sorry if you hear growling in the background. My dogs are... Hey! My dogs are waking up for some odd reason. Anyways, the first thing you want to do when you get to a new island is definitely get to the highest point, even if that means building your way to the highest point, if you want to do it that way, and then just taking in the scenery. Alright. And I'm not saying taking the scenery and be like, oh my god, the scenery is so amazing. If you're not into pixel or voxel type games, you're probably not going to like you know, the scenery. You're probably going to say it's bad graphics, etc., etc. In my opinion, these are some pretty good graphics. Like, they made it blocky for a reason, to make it easier to build, but I'm not going to get into details of that, because a lot of people, whenever Minecraft came out, oh, Minecraft has shit graphics, blah, blah, blah. That was something they hated about Minecraft, but I'm taking in this scenery as, see what's in the distance, what kind of dungeons you can take on, what enemies are around that you think you can take on. Because what's neat about Portal Knight is that it is a adventure game. Adventure, that's what I'm looking for, because Minecraft's adventure. RPG survival game. That's what I want to try to do. Which means you need to level up to gain abilities to get further in the game. And the best thing about survival, only a crafting survival game, is that you got blah blah blah. If I can speak, getting distracted because I'm trying to make sure my dogs don't go off, and then I have to scrap this. I'm also recording this live due to the fact that it's better quality, in my opinion, than what I would be doing if I was recording it off of my video camera, which is what I was originally going to do, just to have them and then go someplace and post them, because I didn't have internet for a while. Oh, I'm already 7 minutes in. This video might be 30 minutes long. Of course, I can't monetize the videos. Hopefully there aren't 3 billion ads in between it, because I can't monetize the video. So I wouldn't make anything off of it. Anyways, let's move on from there. Okay, so when you first get this game, it's gonna give you a bunch of tutorials to do and whatnot. It's gonna tell you to explore this dungeon, go grab this chest, etc., etc. And one thing, and I'm gonna try to go through as much as possible with you, as much as I possibly can, without just going off on my own. How the gameplay works and whatnot. Alright, so with the console version, since this is the one I'm playing on, I'm not playing on PC. With the console version, you actually have to keep in mind that there are only 4 quick bar hotbar settings. It's going to be all on the D-pad. I mean, there are other ways you can set up for the other ones, or I think you can actually hook up a keyboard. I'd have to test that theory, though, because I found out Fortnite actually works with keyboard. But for one, the first things they want you to try to do is make a stone axe. I think that's one of the first things. I can't remember. And with the pickaxe, because this is not a lumberjack axe, you can actually it's just a stone one as well, right? Yeah, it's a stone pickaxe. The stone pickaxe is actually a lot more widespread. There's much more of a widespread use than it is for the copper weapons that you get later down the road. And actually that'll happen like very soon. Maybe in the second episode, or maybe this episode even. If I get done explaining. You can actually chop down trees faster with this, along with mining blocks and whatnot. And it's one of the good things about this versatile stone pickaxe. Later down the road, it's going to be more appropriate to use the proper things, such as a copper pickaxe, copper gem claw, etc., etc. Let's see what we got here. What was I gonna? Oh, okay. One thing that I suggest you do is make some of the sharpener tools, because if you start using your wands, probably one of the mages, I should say, have some of the most piece of crap, flimsy weapons in the world. They run out of durability quite fast. That's horrible. But yeah, one of the things I want you to do is create a pickaxe, and then go to a mine and mine some blocks and get this chest. But we're gonna skip that and just go to fighting this monster. This is actually one of the dungeons showing you a small glimpse of what the dungeons could look like. And then, a powerful enemy is, kind of just blocking a bunch of treasure you can get. So you take out the enemy. I mean, you could just bypass this enemy completely and open the door, grab the material, and get out. If you don't like fighting in this game, which in my opinion, this is some of the best fighting in a voxel type game, in my opinion. As of, well, besides, what's that one game? I can't remember it. Let's see, there's Minecraft. Minecraft has good, good fighting style, but it's just they buffed the fighting capabilities of weapons, but they also nerfed the fact that it's no longer fun that way, in my opinion. Of course, in PvP aspect, you can just download a mod for your server and whatnot. Hey! And whatnot. But yeah, that was the treasure chest, was that gray thing, and then over here was a cage that gives you your first little mouse, or your first little pet that you can grab. And that's something fun. I don't really like pets. I mean, the mouse is okay, but if you like one of the pets, because there's four different pets you can get in this game: a mouse, a cat, an owl, and a frog. And after that, I think there was supposed to be a dog, but that was scrapped in the end, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, that was the dungeon. Go into the dungeons, fight the enemies, grab the chest, get out, because it gives you some cool stuff. In fact, let's go over some of the stuff that gave us. Gave us some bones, some stone, some flame rubies, and some cotton, and obviously the mouse. Let's go and equip that mouse, actually. I like the owls more or less, and then there are two certain pets that I would actually use a lot more than this. None of the pets actually do anything special, not that I've noticed. I mean, some of them have special movement patterns, some of them just look amazing. Like the first boss, like major boss, to connect to the second set of islands, he actually drops a miniature version of him that you can have as a pet, and I have him for one of my characters, or at least I used to. I don't know if I deleted that character. But after that dungeon, and by the way, the first world, every single world, even the first world, is completely randomized. None of this is going to be in the same spot as you see on my screen, and if you do get that lucky roll and it's the same thing, congratulations, you're probably the best. I don't know why I didn't just build a pathway up here. But yeah, this is another thing. There's science in this. You want to read them, you can. It's up to you. This one says mining with a pickaxe is much faster, and that is true, as I took out this block in like 4 hits, and then with my fist, it's so many more hits. Anyways, you kind of just want to break in, grab this chest here, which gives you quite a lot of stuff. Nothing new if you went to the dungeon first, except for a minor healing potion. Everything's pretty much breakable. A lot of the stuff right now is not pick upable in dungeons, at least, I should say. If you were to break the bushes over there, you would obviously get the berries and a stem to, or a seed to actually, actually to plant. Oh, my dogs. Hey. And after you get that over there at that mine, it tells you basically, whenever you actually start hitting it, you realize you need to craft something if you guys haven't played this game, which is, actually walks you through that process too. The next thing they would want you to do is come over here and fix up this building, which you can actually get the supplies, well, some of the supplies right over here. You can get all the wooden blocks that you're going to need, refined wooden blocks you're going to need, right here from these chests or crates. You just break them, and they explode in like, what, 6? 10, maybe? I don't was paying attention. They explode in a lot of refined blocks. And then also over here is a little farm they give you right off the bat. It's a cotton bushes right here, and then some wheat in the back that's barely grown. There's actually a sign, or supposed to be a sign somewhere over here. There used to be a sign over here, at least, that said, hey, this is a cotton building, blah, 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 cotton building, cotton making building, that's what I should have said, instead of cotton building, because that makes no sense. It's like a, never mind. And after you get those boxes, you can fix up the building if you want. In my opinion, I'm not going to build here again as my home base. I'm going to pick a different place to make my home base. Because I've made my home base here so many times that it gets a little bit boring, actually. I have to keep coming back here, which is like the first island, and there's not much room to build. In fact, there's not a lot to do for creativity here as well. If you feel comfortable building here, that's totally up to you. They give you a plot of land to do farming and stuff right off the bat. It gives you, like, there's very weak enemies here as well, so you don't have to do as much fighting. But I do suggest you do fight every now and then, though. Even as a low level, you want to fight and then gain some experience to level up. Because as soon as you get that first level, it gives you, to get to level 2, gives you a nice little perk. But after building this, it also tells you might want to fix this workbench. Because honestly, you're not going to be able to complete the roof part without fixing this workbench. This workbench actually needs 4 logs to be upgraded, or you can create your own by just... oh, wrong button. Jesus Christ. By coming right over here to crafting stations and furniture, right in this tab, and you can make your own for the exact same. But for story purposes, you just come in here, fix this one, and then don't even worry about it. It gives a nice little animation, and it's upgraded. Each crafting station actually has multiple upgrade levels. I think the level 5 is the max level, if I am correct, if I remember correctly. And for each class, there's separate things that you want to get. If you're a mage, you're definitely going to want to get the altar. That's the only way you're going to get better weapons for your mage. Furnace, you're going to need to get regardless. Chest, I would suggest getting if you want to hold a lot more stuff. The archer station, obviously for your ranger, and then for the anvil, you can actually craft rings, which I would suggest getting this regardless as well. Archer station, now I suggest getting all of this because they all give you things that you can use for each class, but there are some things that are, or most of the stuff that's in there is made for just one class specific thing. But yeah, for a mage, we're definitely gonna have to get this altar, which requires copper, which is actually in the second world, and that's the only way we can really progress. After you complete the workbench, it's usually going to tell you you're going to need, or you're going to want to craft the armor pieces, the first set of armor pieces. For us, it's going to be the apprentice hood, gloves, robes, and leggings. In order to do that, we're going to have to go collect some cotton to make cotton linen. Okay. I'm reminding myself right now not to get them plastic toys anymore. Each fully grown cotton bush, I really do. In fact, the last thing we're going to do here is create the apprentice set of armor, and then I'm going to leave the video at that, and then let this sit for a few days, because tomorrow I am probably going to record a different game. Or probably post that second episode of Ratchet and Clank that I've been procrastinating to post for so long. Let's see, and I believe, if I'm correct, it's 4 cotton per 1 cotton linen. Or linen, whatever you want to call it. While we're going through and collecting cotton, there's a lot more stuff here that you can do. Harold here drops a few cool things. He drops a recipe for a bunny outfit, and he drops footballs, I believe, if you destroy him. And every time you log in, he respawns. And honestly, it's just something to test your DPS, because he's super strong. Like, here, let me show you guys right now. I know I should be... Whoa, Stitchy. You're snoring. You're snoring there. But yeah, test your DPS here. And honestly, if you want to practice your moves, that's when you're going to want to mess with this a little bit more, especially when you start messing with the other types of weapons. Let's see, what else is over here? There's also a tree farm. I think that was closer by that house. But that tree farm, it tells you to plant one seedling every time you chop down a tree. On the sign, of course, you don't have to do that. It's up to you if you want to continue the farm. Over there is your portal stone. Honestly, you don't have to use those very often. In fact, all you have to do is really, you know, shove some portal stones in there, and then you're off to the races, because honestly, you can access every world with this portal map, but you have to, you know, activate those first. So you technically don't even need to move through that thing in order to access the next portal, or to access the new island. And I forgot what I was doing again. Collecting cotton was what I was doing. Alright, how much do I have right now? I have 21. That is way more than enough. Oh, wrong button. In order to craft cotton... Oh, it's cotton cloth, my bad. It's silk linen. That's the next set. That's why I don't do roleplay. I ruin everything. Anyways, to craft cotton cloth, you need 4 cotton. And that's just to make 1. You can bulk make them, which is what I'm going to do here, as much as possible. Oh, was that more than enough? Oh my. No, it wasn't. Oh gosh. That was way less than what I needed. I'll go ahead and take these. I was like, what the hell did I just hit? Because this thing doesn't... Anyways, what I usually do... We're gonna keep this like this as our homeworld for a little bit. But we, oops. We'll keep this as our homeworld for a little bit, but after a while we will be changing up positions. Or islands. You can switch from third person to first person, and you have a ton of emotes. And what does this remind you of, guys? Kyle Ken much? Dragon Ball Z reference. Now that should be enough. There you go, yes, that's definitely enough. Okay. So, to make these, you cannot bulk make multiple items, you can only bulk make 1 item. And one of the achievements is actually to mass produce some of the blocks in like by 20s. And that's like the one of the easy achievements here. And I already have that achievement, obviously. Now the weird thing about this is that whenever you craft an item, you can actually just leave it in there if you want. So it really, you can activate the workbench and leave and go do stuff if something's taking forever to make. in the workbench, or anywhere really. So you can just do that and then leave, and then when you come back, there'll be an exclamation mark saying that something was made, and then you can actually add it to your backpack. Which is why it doesn't go automatically to your inventory, which is a little neat type of thing. In order to equip stuff, you actually have to hover over the item that you want to equip. Any item or any armor that you have in your inventory will show up here, and it will tell you whether it's an increase or a decrease with depending on the armor that you have on at the time. I guess we'll have the hats on for now. Eventually I'm just gonna take it off because like this hat's so silly. Makes the hairstyle look dumb. Yeah, I'll actually keep that off. Usually, later down the road, the armors will have certain perks, along with the weapons having certain perks as well. One thing I probably didn't explain is what the sharpening tool does. The sharpening tool is, well, it essentially just restores your weapons, and the cool thing about this game is that your weapons and tools that you use and decrease the durability on actually do not break. You actually get to keep them, so having the recipe for them is kind of a little bit dumb, unless you just trash the item because you don't have any more stones and you just need to make a new one. And it's honestly easier to make more sharpening stones than it is to make items. Now that we got all that out of the way, and first set of armor made, which is one of the missions that it has you do, there's actually something in here. It's not a mission, so to speak, but there's some more goodies in there if you want them. And then I fall down here. God damn it. As you can see, it's dark as turds here. So having torches on you at all times is great. Just like this wand here, torches actually produce a lot more light, but this wand produces light in the sense of just like a torch. And that's one of the cool things about the mage, is that all of their weapons usually give off some sort of source of light. I'm actually going, like I was going to say, that was the last thing I was going to do, but that's actually not true. I'm going to actually activate this portal, and then we'll call it quits. One of the things it tells you to do is destroy a bunch of enemies, or kill a bunch of enemies, and then get portal stones and finish the portal over here. And that's one of the things about it, is that it doesn't give you full-on portal stones, it gives you portal shards and different color ones to go along with what kind of portals. Obviously the blue ones are your beginner portals, and they bring you to beginner level islands, whereas yellow brings you to the intermediate, green brings you to the hard, and red brings you to the most difficult ones. But obviously if you level up, which I didn't do this time around, but when you do level up, you get to access all your attributes and unlock certain things depending on what level you are. But as long as you level up, the difficulty spike actually is not that much. The only thing is once we get there, the difficulty spike from yellow to green might be the only big spike we see. Because once we get to green and red are in the same pretty much territory, because once we're done with green, we should be at high enough level to do the red portal stones and not worry about it. But to create the portals, or portal stones, you have to have so many portal shards. For the blue ones, you just need 2, and they create portal stones. For this one, you only need 4, but normally none of them are, halfway filled pretty much. Now the weird thing about these stones is that as soon as you place them, they actually soon dissipate. And it's kind of fun if you are doing a cool little bridge that you want to quickly, you want to get away from enemies real fast, you want to quickly make the portal, or quickly make a bridge that you don't care about losing the items for. And they actually stay long enough for you to actually do that too. And it's really cool. But actually kind of boring, especially since you kind of sometimes want to create... like, it'd be really cool to create, like some sort of water physic with the, or you know, fake water with this type of block, because there's actual water in here with cool physics and graphics. But when you place them in here, they don't dissipate at all. They actually stay. And having opened the outgoing path, be wary of the invading wrath. I think they tried pretty hard to make that rhyme. Just kidding. They probably was pretty easy to do. Now that we actually opened that portal, new enemies are going to spawn in here, and they're called, what are they called? Wrath Knights or something like that. I don't know. They have elemental effects. Like, these ones are going to be water, and then the next ones are fire. They only spawn at nighttime, and then once dawn breaks, they disappear. And all the enemies that normally are in this area, well, they just stay here regardless. And they spawn quite often, so if you want to farm a specific area, I would suggest finding the best place with the most amount of enemies spawned in an area, and just go to town on them. A lot of enemies are pretty docile, you can just walk up to them, and then there are other enemies that are extremely violent and will hunt you down to no extent to kill you. Like these green slimes, you can pretty much walk by and step on and not worry about them, but the orange ones, they're more aggressive and they will fight you if you get too close. Let's see if I can level up actually. Nope. Oh man, let me just, I'm just gonna finish this island, fuck it. I already went over my second curse word, I gotta calm down. YouTube, don't demonetize, please. Just kidding, I can't monetize anyways, I haven't hit 10,000 collective views. But yeah, the best play is to find the most amount of enemies spawned in one area, and just go to town on them. Usually you can just walk away, and they'll spawn again. But I think there's another set of enemies actually right over here that I can take out. Or was I mistaken? I was mistaken. Oh, nope, there's some. There's like two. The green slimes usually spawn in twos, so if you find just one lone slime, that means that there's another slime nearby. Oh, there we go, that's what I wanted. Alright, and last but not least, I guess, since I already did it, is the attributes. In the in the alpha version or beta version, whichever one it was, it just kind of shoved the points into whatever, yeah, the attribute points of whatever thing you needed already without considering anything else. If you needed it, like if you wanted to increase your speed and have the best mana and not worry about intelligence, it's up to you. That's why they give you 3 points. You can easily monitor 2 if you wanted, or if you wanted to, add more, because I know the scythe actually considers strength and the intelligence as damage things, but I'll be using wands and staves mostly. Scythes aren't really my forte. So we're going to put wisdom. Wisdom does, it increases your mana pool, and intelligence increases your damage of your spells and your wand. Intelligence, I was just putting 2 points into, and wisdom 1. Unless you get to the point where this is too much, then you're going to want to do the other, the pretty much pumping up wisdom to where you have enough mana for it. The first thing for each one is specialization. So if you really technically wanted a certain type of weapon, you can actually specifically set it to that specialization. If you have more wands, use the wand specialization. If you have more staves, use that. And if you like scythes, definitely use that. But you won't be getting your first scythe until about, well, it'll be a while. You might get it a lot sooner than I think that you would, but it all depends on the player. And then at level 5, and after that, consecutively every 5 levels, it's going to give you a new thing. And honestly, as you saw, you can kind of just set them wherever you want. They don't give you an actual attribute point or a talent point to put into. You just kind of switch however you like. So if you decide you're bored of wands, you can go to stabs. If you decide you're bored of stabs and you want to do scythes for a little bit or forever, that's up to you. In my opinion, this game's pretty versatile, and I love it so much. Like, be prepared for long episodes when I don't mean to make them that long. Like this one's already 35 minutes long, or maybe longer, because with the live setting on PlayStation, it's kind of weird. But I will be ending this video off here. By the time I come back to... Oh, wow, I actually got a recipe. Recipes actually show up by random means. You can complete an event, defeat the boss, or they just drop from random enemies. Just kind of hover over it and learn it. It's a bumblebee head, and I think the only way we can learn that is by getting, yeah, the drafting table. No specific details on how to actually make it, but it's just there for costume purposes. But expect more videos on this type of thing, and by this type of thing I mean expect more Portal Nights, and expect a Ratchet & Clank episode to go up tomorrow, or a Mages of Australia. I don't know. We'll figure it out then, but until next time, guys, I will see you later. Thank you for coming to the stream. That one person that I saw, you're probably gone by now. Yeah, that person's gone by now. Sorry for that quick little intrusion there with the thing. I don't have an outro, and obviously I'm recording from my PlayStation, so there's no real editing or anything that'll go into this video. So thank you guys for coming out to the stream, the one person that did and then left. And thank you for, you know, just viewing this episode. If you made it right through all the way to the end, thank you. Hopefully my voice actually went through. Last time I recorded Portal Nights, if you guys know, mine and my special guest, our voices actually didn't go through for the entirety of the video. Hopefully it did this time. But yeah, like I was saying, until next time, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe to come here today, and I'll see you guys in the next video or whatever I make. Daltora out.